Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy Barrio. I'm the founder of Barrio and Associates, where we focus on quality assurance and agile strategy, transformation, assessments, coaching, training, and in 2020 we were fortunate enough to win the Best Emerging Agile Transformation Consultancy in Canada through the Corporate Coaching and Recruitment Awards. Our assessments, when we do them, we use the Agile Performance Holarchy, which focuses on multi-points and uses different avenues to ensure that when we assess an agile organization that we are providing a detailed assessment to them so that they know where the gaps are and what they need to do to improve. Recently, the Government Accountability Office provided their assessment documentation on what they can do and organizations need to do when getting contracts with governments or working with other bodies to ensure that they are doing agile. The main point of the assessments is to ensure that organizations have that final piece of the puzzle to have success, to be where they need to be. Now, you're probably asking, why would the Agile Performance Holarchy provide any sort of help? Well, the APH has a interdependent points of validation to ensure there's agile success. The GAO assessment is really built for auditors, and it points out generic functions within the frameworks, within roles and duties and ceremonies, and it shows agile use when you're going through that assessment. Unfortunately, when you go through organizations that have gone through a transformation, Agile CXO, in their assessments, they found a lot of concerning numbers that people should be focused on. 90% of the organizations of the projects used project managers. Some of them were gaming story points where it's not providing the value or the right velocity, but they're using the system to show that there's work being done. And most organizations made no governance changes, so they didn't change how they did the work. And senior leaders were unable to describe how and use those agile values. Now, if we look and use Simon Sinek's golden circle of what, how, and why, we focus on that most of those assessments, when they're going through their transformation and going through using Agile, that they're focused on going from the outside in. And go through studies and Agile reports. So the annual state of Agile, the 14th annual state of Agile in 2020, they found that 54% of organizations were still maturing, 20% were experimenting, 6 were considering, 4 had no Agile initiatives. The remaining 11% had some high competency, and 5% would be considered fully agile across the organization. If we look at another study that McKinsey did in 2018, they found that 4% of the organizations were agile. So in 2 years, there's only an increase of 1%. Now, as we go through, if we do the math, 1% over 2 years with the remaining 90% to move across to full agility, that would take over about 180 years. Now, we're not saying that. Obviously, that's very blown out, but it is a point to take that it does take a while for organizations to achieve that full agility. And the way to think about it is a Chevette and Corvette race. Think about it as all your departments are each cars, and your software development team who is using Agile is the Corvette, the high horsepower, and the other parts of the organization that are using traditional methods are the Chevette. So one of two things are going to happen. If you have the Chevette that tries to keep up with the Corvette, with all that missing horsepower, things are going to fail. There are going to be issues going across. In the inverse, if you have the Corvette keeping pace with the Chevette, you're leaving a lot of value and horsepower on the table that's just not being used. And in the end, you will come across that finish line It just could be a lot longer, or there could be a lot of problems in getting there. So when you look at the Agile Performance Holarchy in the 6 points with leadership, crafting, teaming, affirming, envisioning, and providing, they all have each interconnected points. And within each of those points, they have sub-components that help organizations become agile. And that key is that you want that gradual improvement. You want to be able to hit the mark with all your clients. And you also want to ensure that there's synergy across all the teams and across the organization to make sure that they get what needs to get done. So if we're looking at the Simon Sinek circle, at being agile, you need to this exceeds going the AOG requirements. It's ensuring that their organization is efficient and it's adaptive. And you're increasing the employee satisfaction because now you are, in being agile, you are eliminating those frustrations. You've increased the horsepower. You've changed the car. You're no longer driving a Chevette. You're driving a Corvette. There are two Corvettes going down the straightaway, and they're staying in pair. They're able to keep pace with each other. And that means that you're going from the outside in. You're finding your why to be agile, your how, and then the what. So you're getting that proper flow and you're getting that buy-in. So your agile teams, you're improving overall teamwork. You're ensuring that teams are synced up and they're being agile. And you're improving client satisfaction above all else to make sure that they get what they want and what they need. So how do we do this? How do we break through that wall? How do we get through? How do we break through? How do we increase that number of 5%? Work with us. We want to be your trusted agile advisor. We ensure that your success is our priority. And the best way to get a hold of us is either through our website at berrioandassociates.com/contact, or you can reach me through my email at jberrio@berrioandassociates.com. Thank you. Have a good day.